So when you're not working, how do you like to spend your time?
During the summer, I wouldn't mind a bit of golf. There's a few of us down this way, play a bit of golf, and yeah, this time of year it's more a case of ride out, go racing, get back home and straight into bed, have a bit of dinner.
What's the best race you've won?
Well, I suppose Friday on Gidley Park, obviously Grade 2. That'd be the biggest one so far anyway.
Who's the toughest opponent that you faced?
I suppose in the weigh room, Sean Bowen, he's always a difficult one when you're up against him. He's strong and yeah.
Such a nice bloke as well, isn't he? You can't not like him.
He is, yeah, no, he's a tough fella and he's a good lad to have around the weigh room, that's for sure.
What's your favourite TV show of all time, or at the moment?
Yellowstone, actually, I suppose. That's just completed that there probably about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that'd be right up there at the moment.
It's a very good show. I have to commend you on that one. If you could eat any one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
The chicken curry.
Okay. Any particular chicken curry or just the bulk
No,
standard?
just very straightforward. A few chicken nuggets.
What?
A bit of curry sauce and a bit of rice. That's the go-to anytime the girlfriend is out in the evening time. That's my go-to meal.
Has there ever been a moment in your career so far where you've thought about quitting, or has it been quite straightforward for you? So
no, to be honest, I've had plenty of injuries along the way and everything, but I've always been in the mindset of, I suppose, when you love what you're doing, you're always thinking, keep going, and yeah, no, never.
What was the race when you were younger that you always wanted to win?
Just the one growing up, like as you're watching, that would be the Grand National.
Yeah.
That's always the one. When you're in racing, the Gold Cup is obviously, that is the pinnacle of the sport. And I suppose that is top level. But the one growing up, I suppose, well, you sit down as a family and you watch the Grand National.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given or can give to somebody who might be wanting to get into horse racing?
Never burn your bridges. I can remember, when I started riding years ago, Michael Winters, back in Cork in Ireland, he was the man that actually started me out, and he always said, oh, yeah, never burn a bridge. So yeah, that's a good bit of advice.
What is the one horse that you would choose to ride from history, if you could?
I think I'd have to go for Hurricane Fly again.
Yeah.
I just think he was he was so quick A to B over his hurdles. He was very fluent. Yeah, I'd imagine he was a good buzz to ride.
What's the proudest moment of your career today?
Riding out my claim, that was a big day. Obviously when you start, like riding, that's the one thing you do want to do.
Yeah.
Riding out the claim is always, when you start off, I suppose you think you're first winner, and then all of a sudden you want another one, then you want to ride out your £7 claim. But yeah, riding out McLean was a good day.
Who is your best friend in racing, would you say?
Close between Rex Dingle and Dave Noonan.
Yeah.
They'd be two top lads now. Dave Noonan was actually the person that got me over to England, and then Rex Dingle, yeah, from the moment I arrived in the country, he was the first person I met. Lived with Rex for a while, and yeah, they'd be the two. I couldn't split the two of them.
What's your guilty pleasure if you have one?
Guilty pleasure. Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone order Chinese! Yeah!
I go for Chinese. I do like Chinese now, yeah.
Is that chicken curry from the Chinese as well?
No, that'd be a bit of everything, and a nice mixture. I'd be one of those that, I wouldn't mind. When I'd be back in Ireland, actually, it'd be a spice bag. They don't do spice bags over here, and I think that's one thing we're lacking. But yeah, a spice bag from a Chinese in Ireland.
Could you explain quickly for people who don't know what a spice bag is?
It's just chips, chicken, a few spices with some peppers and onions. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. What is one food that you would ban if you could?
Yeah, I wouldn't be a massive fan of veg now, so there'd be a few veg that I'd be able to get rid of. I wouldn't like too much colour on my plate.
Yeah.
Fairly bland. Yeah, I'll go for a bit of swede.
If you could relive any race that you've ridden in, you don't have to have won it, but what would it be and why?
Gidley Park on Friday, that was very satisfying, obviously, after what happened at Kempton. I suppose initially after Kempton it was a case of, when I pulled them up, we didn't know straight away what was wrong.
Yeah.
And obviously afterwards it was thankfully the right thing to do, but it was very satisfying to see him come back on the track and yeah, put in a brave performance like that.
What is your first memory of being around horses or in horse racing?
I think my first ever time on a horse was at a polo yard. I was probably about 10 years old. My uncle lived up in Dublin at the time. He was friendly with a polo player, so we went out to this place, and I can remember sitting on this horse and all he kept saying was faster, faster, faster. But yeah, I certainly wasn't able to go faster anyway at that stage.
What's your favourite sport outside of horse racing?
Love hurling.
Yeah.
Yeah, hurling, that would be my go-to.
Played it
Unfortunately, I played a lot of it back home in Ireland, and that would be one thing I'd miss for sure from back home.
What is your favourite thing about riding at Ascot?
Oh, it's just a phenomenal place. I suppose from the moment you arrive, like walking in the grandstand, there's a good atmosphere. I suppose the way that the racecourse is laid out, like the paddock, you couldn't pick one thing, I don't think. It is just it's a special place.
Would you rather be invisible or be able to read minds?
Invisible.
Yeah, any reason why?
I think if I read minds, I think I probably know too much. I'm not sure I want to know what everybody's thinking.
We saw you win in the Berkshire Winter Millions and get 3 winners, in fact. One of those winners was Outerbelly at Ascot.
At the final hurdle, Outerbelly took off with a good leap there to land in front from Aston Martini. Then movement like Mini and Willful, who can't go on inside the final half a furlong. And it's Outerbelly coming home strongly in the hands of Bryan Carver. Outerbelly the winner.
Which was your first winner at Ascot as well. How did that feel, having sort of like that experience of winning at Ascot?
Yeah, it was very pleasing. Outerbelly was a horse I suppose I'd won his bumper, I'd won 2 novice hurdles on him then as well, so getting back on board him the last day was good, and it was just very satisfying that he was able to put everything together. His jumping before Saturday wouldn't have been his strong point, and thankfully the first time sheep pieces would have definitely helped sharpen him up, and yeah, he was travelling through the race nicely and it was very good.
Last question we've got for you, and hopefully it is a long time in the future, but when you retire, how do you want to be remembered?
Hard-working and successful.
Yeah.
That'd be the way. Yeah, definitely. I think it's, as a jockey, I think it is a hard hurdle. You work hard to get to where you are, and thankfully, I'd like to say, you do put in a fair bit of graft and you put in long hours, but it's definitely worth it at the end of the day.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bryan.
Thank you.
Cheers.